and I'm not going to.
Hello, everybody. I am Sun Psychic Jean, and please welcome one of my favorite co hosts, Mark the Spirit Whisperer. Hi,
Hi,
Mark.
gals.
Go ahead, say it all.
Yeah, how y'all doing? Happy New Year,
Guys and gals in spirit.
gals.
I love it. I love it. I love it. That's such a beautiful, welcoming introduction that you have. And I love it. It never gets old, but so
I,
beautiful. Thank you and happy new year to you, Mark, and happy new year to all of those. This is our first Saturday we're here together and in this glorious January.
mm,
Um yeah, and January has been different in providing different energies for different people and I'm just very grateful for everything that January has to offer.
it
And
feels like we're off. It has that we're off. Like pull the thing, kind of going.
yeah.
I can feel it energetically. There's just a lot of energy all the time. I don't know. And if you're sensitive to it, you just constantly are like, wow, it's just, I mean, it does, I don't, it doesn't like stop me in my tracks or anything, but I just am aware that feels like there's stuff going on behind the scenes, sort of, energetically that I'm aware of, but I don't necessarily have to focus on. So, I don't know how to explain it really, but anyway.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's I'm trying to see if I can post that. I can't. But thank you very much. Viviani is saying, please post all questions in caps. Thank you very much. And I'm trying to pin this to my YouTube, but I'm not able to for some reason. We're going to be taking messages or any questions if you would like to connect to a loved one, connect to a pet, or spirit guides, and any kind of mysterious happenings. Keeping it up on the up and up, and anything that's helpful. I'd like to say hello to Jill Sinanan. So nice to see you. She's saying hi, Sun Psychic Jean, and the delightful whisperer Mark.
Oh,
Ooh.
sweetie pie. Hi, peacock rainbow flower.
Mm-hmm. And Peacock Rainbow. So nice to see you. Our Shining Lights is here. So nice to see you. Thanks for coming. Joyful Journeys, Teresa Hadarian, and Viviani, of course. Thank you very much, Viviani, for everything that you do. I see Anne Swantek. Nice to see you. And Ness is here. Ness, I do have your question. Well, thank you very much, everybody, for joining us, and everybody will be following in. And are you being affected by any of these? Uh, what do they call them? Midwest storms, or center of the? Uh,
Well, not as a little far north or even worse, but what we're doing, the temperatures are dropping. Like now it's 26, I think, out, and it's supposed to go down to single digits, like to 4 or something like that. So, and I woke up and there's like little white in little patches. So it looked like it did some kind of snowing or something, but not enough. But I just see it like on the bird feeder and stuff. So it's just the temperature dropping.
well,
So,
that must be the storm front coming in, and it's so unusual because you are a few states south of DC, and we are currently at 45, 50 degrees, which is unusual.
yeah.
I know.
Well, I wonder if you guys are going to drop.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's coming.
yeah. I was wondering about if you're going to get the way down. I know when I heard single digits, and I was telling you, I'm working with my heater, which is not working properly, and I'm going, can we get this before the 4 degrees happens, please? Because, you know.
But is it customary for you to have those colder temperatures? I remember one year living here, that it was such a balmy winter that it seemed as though it didn't go below freezing enough to kill off all of the whatever the germs and stuff in order to get into the next season.
Yeah. Well, here in Kentucky, it's like the seasons aren't happening on on schedule. It's like it's pushed back. Normally, when I was a kid growing up here for the first, excuse me, 20 years of my life, it would start snowing a lot, like before Thanksgiving. And then, sometimes even at the beginning of November, we would start having big snows, feet. And then all the way through Christmas, all the way through January, February. Now, this Christmas, it was like 60 something on Christmas Day. And it's just been rain, balmy like that all through Christmas, New Year's. And so just now we're getting cold. So, it's just been off. It's like the seasons they're off track. And I agree with you with that. It didn't kill things off, because I noticed my plants act confused a little bit about when do we bloom? When do we stop? All that stuff. Did you freeze? Oops. I'm just talking away. Looks like Jean froze. Yeah, I like the snow, Peacock Rainbow, and I miss it. I loved it when I was a kid, and I still like snow. I'm not the person of please don't snow. I actually, when it's winter, I would rather it snow than rain. It's been raining every day since New Year's, and I still haven't got to put away my Christmas and stuff because it's just mud, and I refuse to pack all my Christmas up wet and muddy. So I kind of look forward to the snow. Alaska loves when it's cold and snowy. She'll just go lay in the snow. She's such a goofpot. Buttercup, who's here in my chair with me, says, no, thank you. Oh, there she is. There's her little head. Can you see my baby? Whoops. There's my baby. She says, no, thank you to the snow. But when it gets cold, 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 we all go in the living room. I usually do some crafts or something on the table, and all 6 of my children gather around in a big circle. And we enjoy the warm. I have one of those Amish fireplaces. It's really pretty, but it's an electric heater too. So my gas heater's been having problems, but at least I have the electric heater. And we all sit in there all snuggly bug. My pets keep me so much company. But when I have them and I'm just, I can watch television or do some crafts or meditate, I'm pretty happy to be inside, even when it's snowing. I hope Jean's going to come back. I wonder what happened. Jean. Because this is weird. But it's kind of par for the course. There's been a lot of that kind of energy where things just don't work. I was talking to her just since Christmas Eve. I had my water left. Then I had my electricity and half the house go out. And now the heater's not working. I've just had one thing after another. That kind of like Mercury retrograde kind of a thing. I finally got to have Christmas with my girlfriends from Los Angeles, 3 girls that I used to work with at the zoo. And we always spend Christmas and birthdays together. Anyway, we didn't get to do it at Christmas because one of my friends, her mother passed away over the holidays. So we finally did it last night, but then we had a lot of technical, so I'm not that surprised that there's technical stuff going on again. It's kind of one thing after another. I was telling Jean that it felt a little bit. Yeah, I can, but I don't think it's going to let me see if I can see the questions. Oh, yeah, it's going to show me the questions. So let me see. There she is.
Sorry about that, Mark. I was emailing you, but the email wouldn't work either. We had an internet surge, and
Oh, lovely.
kicked off the whole thing. You know how your
The
main has
reboot. Yeah.
to reboot. Yeah.
So then you had to all reboot, restart, and then it always seems to go slower than ever if you're like waiting.
Yep. And I was trying to email you, and it was saying the email isn't working. I'm like, what the heck? And I'm like, call me.
I know. Well, I was figuring you were going to come back. I was just trying to. I was just about thinking, well, maybe I'll read one question while we're waiting. But
Oh, well,
and then,
thank you very much. And for the one time, yeah, no, I'm so sorry about that, everybody. But we're back, and I think that means we should seize the moment.
yeah.
Um, so Jill's like, Mark, you carry on the readings until she turns up.
Well, I was explaining to them, I wasn't that surprised that there was technical difficulties because it's just sort of that, like this keeps happening all the time, with different people. I just think it's it's still part of the energetic something.
Well, we're having high winds, so that's probably why.
Well, of course, this kind of weather also, it's hard to keep everything up and running.
I want to send a great big hello to Purple Elephant Deb H. Lurking and listening, can't tag, but love you all. That's amazing. You are amazing, Deb. So
Hi,
nice.
Deb.
So nice to have you here in the chat.
I love you.
Yep, we're wishing you all the best and the most benevolent outcome. And you're always in our thoughts. So
more health coming your way. My little sweetie pie.
And Joyful Journey says Alaska looks cozy.
Doesn't she? I know she's making me want to just shut this off and go lie down.
So Viviani says she's trying to enjoy the snow. I didn't realize it was snowing where you are. Where are you coming from, Viviani? I wasn't sure. I knew there was somebody that was still having a storm. It's way up north, I think, like in Minnesota, I think.
I know where Viviani's from, but it's not coming to my brain currently. Yeah, I think there's a lot of snow coming everywhere. It seems like, there's that big old, they showed like where the Republican, whatever, and it was like -28 or something. I went, okay, good.
Yeah, Viviani said she's in PA, but it's not snowing quite yet. So let's go ahead and get started. I see Ness is here, and she says, work situation that is stressing me out. Will I be successful transferring to a new role and leaving on my own terms in May, or will I be fired, let go in the next 1 to 3 months? That is really a hard place to be in. That is really a difficult place to be in, Ness. I'm so sorry. I think the latter is probably, I don't know. I don't know which one is your preference. Let me see. Are you getting something right away? I think, Ness, I'm not sure. I think the latter would probably work more in your favor. It's almost like it's more difficult for them to let you go, I think, than it would be for you to leave on your own. It's almost like they don't want you there. You don't want to be there, and they're making life difficult for you and almost having this looming over you, which is difficult for you to be there. But I feel as though they're dragging their feet, hoping that you leave so that they don't have to go through that, in other words, because I think that they have some liability. What do you think, Mark?
Well, number one, Ness, go ahead and, as much as possible, stay focused on what you want, not what you don't want. So choose the one that best suits you. Go ahead and figure that out. I do think there's going to be some movement one way or another. Like, I don't think you're going to stay in that new spot they put you in, because I do feel like you'll be moving on. But this doesn't necessarily mean you have to move. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. It doesn't mean you have to move completely away, but it's moving into a new thing. So I don't feel like you're going to stay in that. She said they just reorganized and she just kind of got moved, but not really in a great. Oh no, Joe Flajourn lost her job yesterday. Oh Lord. So wait, I was going to pull a couple more cards, sweetie. I don't feel like the reorganizing's done or something like that. There's still working on it. I feel like there's another offer coming. So either that can go either way. That's why you really need to be clear on what you want to do. So either an offer from outside the job, there he is inside his little tent. So maybe an offer out there, or an offer within, you just get to move around. So it does feel like there's a change coming. Right. So I think they might try to fix it. I get what your last comment is there. So they're not done yet. They're still trying. I don't think the reorganization or whatever is in stone. They're still trying to figure it out a little bit. So I think they're going to come to you. I think they're going to reshuffle me. Yeah, I think that too, sweetie. So you're not quite in the final spot yet. So I don't think you're going to stay where they put you right now for a while. So I do think they're going to move you around, move you again, and you might like that better. But again, just keep focused on what you would like to see happen. I don't feel like you have to move. Like, I don't feel them firing you. I feel like they would move you before they fire you. Just what it feels like to me. So if you did move, it would be because you wanted to. That's what I'm feeling. Yeah, you want to stay till May. Oh, okay, good, sweetie.
Yeah. Yeah. And you want to let the energies play out, and the energies are volatile right now for everybody involved. And it's something that maybe if you persevere, you may have a different outlook on it as it gets closer. But it'll be your choice, I feel, and it won't be their choice. In other words, it'll be your choice to leave or to move or to have another role. I feel as though you'll be empowered with that.
Right. And they would rather you move than get rid of you. That's what I think. I don't think they, don't like you or would say, oh, what we need to do is get rid of her. No. It's more about the reorganization is a big old, hoop-de-doop. And it isn't settled yet. Okay. Yeah, I'm good. I feel better. Yeah.
No.
That's good, sweetie.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't slip into that fear, and just try and be patient and allow the energies to work out, to play out, for sure.
Yeah, but because I think that kind of energy is something a lot of us might be seeing, that where all of a sudden there's seemed like a shakeup or a big, uh-oh. But then you just stay centered and the dust is settled and you'll realize, oh, okay, I'm okay. I'm still in a good spot, but it seemed like, whoa, like when you go on a roller coaster and you get really high and you kind of come out of the seat for a second, but then you're back, oh, okay. Because I just keep getting breathe, have faith, and everything will settle down. I don't know if you've been hearing that, Jean, too, but a lot of the time we're just asked to be an observer, sort of, in this next year. There's a lot of observing the energy without getting too caught up in it, without trying to identify too much with it. Just watch it, breathe, have faith, and just move forward. That's what I keep hearing. Now we'll see, but
that's beautiful, Mark. Yep. Thank you. Thank you very much, and all the best to you, Ness. It's nice. It's nice to see you, and let us know. Keep us posted. So Viviani is here. Hi, Viviani. And she says, does Tonino have a message from the other side? I think this is one of her. Is this your grandfather or your uncle, Viviani? Tonino.
Yeah, I don't know who that is. I don't think. Let me see here.
Oh, the neighbor. It's a neighbor from her childhood. Wow. Okay.
We'll see here. Tonino. I could never say that, I don't think. Tonino. Oh, so he recently passed, I'm assuming, or not too long ago. Okay.
He's showing me a volcano, and he's showing me almost like it's a cross between a crater on the moon and a volcano, where it has like an up thrusting of Earth, but it has an opening, and then the sides of the volcano has like striations on it. Not sure if that means anything for you, Viviani. Almost like an eruption. Not sure what he's trying to say with that. Well, I'll just leave that as is.
Yeah. Volcanic energy. Well, what he's telling me is he's still on the other side. You said he passed a few years ago. He feels like he was okay about his passing. I don't know if he was sick before, but for some reason he wanted me to use the dog card, so I pulled those out. But so the first one I got is rest, take a time out. So his passing was in alignment with what he was looking to do. But this also shows me that he's still on the other side, enjoying that energy over there. He's been spending time honoring who he was, his ego, his personality, as well as this lifetime. So, he spent time reviewing and all that. That has been successful. He thinks his life, this past life, was successful. He accomplished things that his soul wanted to accomplish. So he's not super anxious to return right away. So I feel like he's still over there doing stuff. He says he's like when you think of him, he's aware of it. So, for example, when you heard of him passing and it moved you up, then that his attention, you caught his attention. And he was grateful for your thoughts and your caring. He says, and I love this, because, I was just talking about, he said, when you think of him, he's aware of it. And then I pull empathy. I see and hear you. So, when you think of him, it pulls his attention to you. And so he goes, yeah. And he looks, with love, empathy, listens to you, things like that. I feel like, oh, he was a good person. Yeah, see, I know that whole, yeah, I did pretty good. Honor your gifts. It wasn't a bad life. I accomplished some of the things I meant to accomplish. Happy dog, on the other side. Now I know why you wanted me to use these cards, because they're the words on them are really what he's saying to me. So I think that's good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that's wonderful, Mark. And Viviani, he's also showing me these unusual things, but he wants you to investigate it. He's also showing me a crab and it's sort of like a cartoon crab, but the crab has like really big googly eyes, and he is walking sideways. So I'm not sure if he liked a crab. I'm not sure if he always looked sideways. I don't know what it was around those things that he's trying to speak through or get these messages through that are cryptic kind of messages. And but he wanted to let you know that you guys are soul family, that it doesn't matter if we're related or if we're engaged, or how close the relationship is. Sometimes there's just people in our own soul family, because we could have hundreds of people in our soul family, and these two souls almost recognized each other and appreciated each other, and he appreciated you. Like you saw him in his eyes. He saw the soul in you that you saw in him, and appreciated the goodness in you that you saw in him. And this was almost like, people are placed in our lives so that they would reflect back to us our own soul's essence. And I believe that that's what he wants to say. What the volcano and that image of the crater of some sort and the crab is it may be meaningful to you, or it may come to you at a later date, but he's pretty certain on that. um I don't know, it could be so many things, it's hard to determine.
Yeah.
um yep, Viviani says I will look into it.
Yeah.
She says he was older than me and went to the same school with his younger brother. He always smiled and was kind to everyone. Aw.
Yeah, but just one final message from heaven, or from beyond the other side, makes complete sense. But this card fell out, so I'm going to share it with you. Look at this. Follow your passion. Do what you love. He just wants to, send that your way. Follow your heart. Follow your passion. Do what you love. And that's a great message for all of us. In a way, that's what we're here to do. And so he's just reminding you. And that is a beautiful picture, too. Maybe he liked dogs or something, because he really wanted me to use those dog cards. Okay.
Yeah. Wonderful. Wonderful. Well, he sounds like a very interesting soul for sure.
Yep.
Thank you very much, Viviani,
Thanks.
and for everything that you do to help us.
Yep.
And I have, let's just mix it up a little bit here. JR says, will my insurance pay for my dental work, or will I have to pay out of pocket, I guess?
Yeah. Oh, poor Joyful Journey lost her job. JR, how's this dental work? I have to go to the dentist next week, JR. So I'm currently trying to find a dentist that uses my insurance.
When did you have the work done? Because I'm hearing deductible.
Yeah, I feel like it will pay, or at least my pendulum thinks it will.
I don't see the entire amount. I see that there may be a deductible that you fall into, and then it's almost like, it's this percentage of this percentage of this percentage, and this is what we're responsible for. So,
Or like a copay or something. It's like what I'm hearing, like what you're saying, that deductible, like you're like a copay, or. But I think they're going to pay for the most of it. Seems to me.
I'm getting a yes that they will. It's not like a service that they don't cover. It's a service that they do cover, but the coverage is a percentage. But it is something that they will cover.
Right.
To the degree that is in the contract.
Yeah, I think you're gonna hear that they're gonna take care of it, or the most of it. It'll be like, it's not gonna break you or anything. Because I did pull a timing card that says everything will succeed. You still have to wait. So that's just probably waiting on them a little bit. But I feel like it's gonna be okay. I'm not
Mhm.
getting like I'm not drawing anything that's like ah money, anything like that. It doesn't feel like that. And plus, the pendulum is like, nah, it's gonna be okay.
Mhm. And JR, you can find out what it's going to cost and how much they'll pay for before you get the work done.
All right. Oh, he's going back on the 22nd. Well, I guess he started, so he's in a process now. Yeah.
Mhm.
Dentist. I think I had
Yeah.
a tooth pulled. Oh boy.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that, JR. Just want to say a quick hello to Evelyn. So nice to see you. Thanks for being here. Arlene is here. So nice to see you, Arlene. Very nice. So Joyful Journey wanted to change her question. She said she would like to get some advice from the guides about um, for her job search.
Right. So she said she just got let go yesterday.
Was this a trial period, Joyful Journey? Have you been there very long? Oh, thank you, Viviani. That was really sweet of you. Very generous. Thank you, Viviani.
What a sweetie pie.
I don't think that you were in this position or at this job for very long, Joyful Journey. Just let me know. Um, it's almost like a blessing in disguise. And shame on them for being so heartless. And, I mean, it's almost like I don't know if you can tell me if you were hired recently. I almost feel like they hired 3 or 4 people and wanted to see which ones would, be the best fit. I don't know if they would go through all that though. That's a lot of cost. But I just feel like this is a silver lining or a blessing in disguise. Because there is a better opportunity for you out there, a more compassionate, more win-win type of life work balance kind of opportunity for you out there that's going to appreciate you for all of your skills and all of your abilities and your sensitivity and your personality. It's going to be a little bit better of a fit for you as an individual, not just for your skills. Like it's the whole you. You'll all of you, your personality and your skills will be needed at this new position. Um, but you, Mark.
Well, I really get the same thing about you that you got that it's a blessing in disguise. So that it's meant to be. It's kind of preparing you for the next thing. I also feel like something new will come in pretty quickly. That's why you're going to be sort of. That's why I went ahead and got you out. Um, like it's better not to stay there for a long period of time. So this, it seems like divinely intended. They want to remind you um, the future's in your hands as you move forward. So when I get this timing card, that again is just, it's always good, guys. Whenever there's any kind of change in your mind, as much as you can, focus on what you would like rather than what you don't like. I know I say that all the time, but it really makes a big difference because your thoughts make a world of difference. So it doesn't mean that you can't have what you don't want thoughts, but you don't want to dwell on them and just like, own them and just worry with them. Uh, I wasn't happy here. Yeah, so it's on purpose. But I think there's a better job that suits you better, just like what Jean was saying, that's coming. And it's like coming right around. I feel like it's actually good timing because it's the beginning of the year. It's a new job that's going to satisfy you more. I get this card that says impact on the community. The answer is yes. So that's also telling me that it's better suited. The service that you're doing for the community and for others suits you better. So you know what I mean? It serves you and it's a service that helps others. And so, I just got that really strong feeling right from the beginning, just the way Jean started. Oh, this is actually a blessing in disguise. It's really right along for your, highest good. And so don't worry and don't fret. Um, keep your eyes open. But I feel like there's another offer coming, or you're going to see another opportunity fairly quickly. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too, Joyful Journey. And I did check with the pendulum, and I see something changing around the last week of February, first week of March is where I started seeing it change. Like I was asking and it was saying no, no. And then the last week of February it went into a circle. And then the first week of March it was a definite yes. So somewhere around there is where I see a new opportunity coming in for you. But yeah, you don't want to stay in a place that it almost is like not your energy. There was something, it was like draining your energy or bumping up against your energy. And you don't that's you want to make sure it's an energetic fit as well as a skill fit, which
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. And I think somebody might mention to you that there's something available. Maybe somebody you met at that job or something. So kind of keep your ears open. There's going to be somebody that's going to help you find the new thing. Even if they mention, I heard somebody's looking for something like that. But just as a final card, I get the sun psychic gene, and um, that's a very happy, satisfying outcome. So again, this was supposed to happen. I know it's always like, yeah, but I have to pay my rent. But um, you're moving right along the way you're supposed to be.
And it's a lesson in discernment as well. And it's a lesson, it's almost like it gains perspective. You gain experience. Even if the experience didn't work out for you, it was valuable information so that you can almost tell the vibration or the energy around things. It all experience is valuable and able to provide us with more information moving forward.
Yeah. There might be somebody at that job that knows some place to recommend you look or something. Did you make a friend or two there? There's somebody who's concerned about you being let go, and I feel like you might hear some lead.
Oh, very nice.
Hey, you can let me know if that happened or not. Yeah.
Yeah, keep us posted. Thank you very much. So we have Leanne here. Leanne would like a card, please. So Leanne, what I'm going to do is just tune into your energy and do like an energy reading for you, only because Mark is the card expert.
Oh, I don't know about that. Not sure about
I'm just not that I'm not as familiar with the cards, so I'm getting there though. I'm
Yeah.
working on it. I'm practicing.
Well, they begin to, they learn you when you're learning them, and then it just gets better and better. They start to figure out how you read and stuff. I think the cards do. They're weird.
Mm.
So, Leanne, what's going on, Leanne? Oh, I made some good friends. Yeah, Joyful Journey. I can kind of feel their energy. Seems like they're concerned too, and they're going to try to help you. That's what I feel like. Because they kept that energy kept coming forward. I love your screen name, Joyful Journey. Okay.
So, Leanne, what I'm picking up for you is that you have a little bit of uncertainty and around you, and almost like you don't know which way to turn. I feel as though you are deliberating a decision, and it's sort of kind of going around and around in your mind, and you can't seem to uh, figure out a way, a solid direction. And I feel as though there are angels and spirit guides that are reminding you that everything's going to be okay. And no matter what decision you do make, it is the right one for you. And they just want you to make a step in the direction that you feel is best for you. And if it is not the direction that is in your path, you will be directed again back or over to a different direction in your path. Trust that they are helping you, guiding you. And the only thing that prevents your spirit guides and angels from guiding you is our own indecision, that analysis paralysis. They are unable to do anything because we have free will until we make a move, and then they can send us the next guidance, the next guidance. And you'll know as soon as you make the move whether it was the one that was most beneficial or not, and just trust that you'll be guided again into the direction. And if it is the right direction, you'll have gained that trust within yourself to sort of step outside of your comfort zone and to make the move. It is quite. I feel as though it's a heavy. It's almost like you're moving your entire family and your mom and your kids and your business. I mean, it feels like a huge thing that you're trying to decide if it's the right thing for you. Like there's so many people that are affected by this decision, and it's a really big one. But just trust yourself, and write down the pros and cons, and just move forward with what you feel is best, and trust yourself. How about you, Mark?
Yeah, Leanne, I feel like the cards are telling me and spirit's telling me that, you know, you are on a spiritual journey. It's a big part of what you're doing right now. And that's about realizing more fully your one-on-one relationship with the higher power. And you're moving along in that direction. And that's reflected in your physical world, right? I too feel like there's movement afoot. We're moving. Now it's spiritually sanctioned or guided. Jean was talking about that. But I get the six of this card. This is French. I always have to look at them. Six of Swords. But the Six of Swords is, moving from rough waters to calmer waters. I always like that little quote about this card. And it's also, and see, there's family, the house. We're on the move. So it's moving forward to better energy. And there'll be some movement and change because your spiritual journey, I think, Leanne, is making some progression. Like you're realizing more fully your own individual aspect, why you're here, what you came here to do, that you're not alone in that, and realizing more fully that I am more than who you might think I am. So the reason I'm saying all that is because you get the Seven of Wands, and it's kind of like standing apart from the crowd, taking a stand of this new awareness. Your mind's opening, your heart's opening, and you're feeling more like you than ever before, and you're proud of it. You're going to stand on top of the hill and say, look, I defend who I have become. And that's all. So any changes that are coming up, and we'll all be going through some like changes, of course, in this year. It's all leading, though, to just a stronger sense of who you are. So this is the Queen of Cups. That's satisfied. It suits your heart, your emotions. It's a nice, sturdy seat. So you're moving into a greater seat of power. And the universe, it wants to say, it will guide you. It will send you, clues or guidance for you to follow. Like here's the Knight of Hearts, Cups, Hearts, Cups. he's ready to go forward. It'll send you, some steps to take. That's all sounds good. And where's it all leading? La la, we get it's a big bright sun, but love. In this, lovers is the lovers card. But in this, it's divine partnership is what I'm talking about here. So see how the source cat's over here, and he's bringing you together with what serves you best. So that love can be service as well as a partner, that lover energy. It's what you resonate and serve with. Anyway, it all sounds good to me. It was a nice pull for you, Leanne.
Absolutely, Leanne. Let us know if that resonated with you at all. And I love that last card. That's the lovers, and the way that it had the source and the light and the sun and the lovers, like the relationship, whether it's with her and her spirit guides, or her and her higher self, or her and her own. I feel as though it was really a beautiful card. Really.
Yeah, no. And then sometimes I'd pull that exact same card, and it would be about a partner, like an earth. But in this time, it was like, no, we're talking about this other. So, you never. No, but I feel like it was more about your spiritual relationship. And I think you've been working on it consciously, Leanne. You can correct me, but I feel like you have been.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have a Peacock Rainbow, and she says, what guidance do my guides have for my work and love life this year? Hi, Peacock Rainbow. Thanks for your question.
For work and love life. Even though this year is a lot about kind of stuff that doesn't serve falling away and bringing truth to the surface, stuff like that, it's also a really good time to manifest what you want. If you're focused on good, love, life, service, creation, which serves you and everyone to their highest good, those types of manifestations and creations, this is a great time to do it. So choose. If you're looking for a partner or you're looking for a new job, it's not a time to just sit around and wait. Choose it. It's a really good time to manifest what you want this year. Even though we'll be kind of busy watching things happen, it's still a good time to make positive change in your life. And I almost feel like kind of whether you want to or not, it's, okay, we're moving. Creation is happening more easily, if that makes sense. Okay, Jean, what?
I was just getting that your work is going to be quite pretty much status quo. It's going to be happy. It's going to be pleasant. It's not going to be rock and roll. It's not going to be off the charts. It's not going to be sad. It's pretty much going to be, just a typical. It's going to be effective. And I just got it like a status quo kind of a feeling with your work. I didn't feel anything changing. I didn't feel anything exciting or detrimental. I just felt like a very even keel through most of the year there. With your love life, I do feel as though this might be something that you would want to focus on and work on developing that energy around you by focusing on your self love, focusing on the details of how you would like this love to show up in your life, what you expect to see when this love does come into your life, how you would be open to your life changing, and whether or not this would be something on a casual basis or I just work out those types of details. It's almost like the pie in the sky is not detailed enough in order for us to manifest this this, or even the strength of our desire for that is not detailed enough for it to manifest. It's like we want it so much, but it still needs that. It still requires that amount of detail, that amount of steps. Why in the first step, I would like to see this, and I would be willing to do this, and I would be. I understand that my part in this is this. It's almost it really does. Um, it does make a difference for the energy that's around you, the receptivity of you and your energy. It's almost like be grateful for the relationship or the love in your life that you desire before it even appears in your life. And it's almost like this change of this energy, not so you know uh, I don't know. Just it. It's almost like there's a little bit of a anxiousness or a fear that it might not ever come. It's almost like I wish it will, but I bet it won't. It's almost like there's some sort of a push and pull here where they want you just to relax, open up, and appreciate and enjoy this love that is here right now, and welcome in any other love that would love to share this love with you. It's really just and it's an energetic thing, and it's a mindset, and it's not you. I'm not pointing at you, Peacock Rainbow. I'm saying that it's the egoic mind that makes us in this fearful type of strong desire that kind of works against the energy. So I hope that makes sense. How about you, Mark?
Yeah, it's going to be, you know, as far as you personally, a fairly easygoing. Um, I think Gene said it, like moving through the year. It's not a lot of, oh no, it's like moving gradually forward, a little bit of gradual. And then you mentioned you started a new business. So that makes sense to me. So even because some of these cards are talking about that, I think. Uh, a little, there's monies, we're balancing it out. So that's like figuring out the business. Sometimes you have to put in a little to get some back. So it's back and forth like that. It's the kind of energy you would get when you're starting something new. You have a lot of ideas and good stuff to offer. Don't forget that sometimes you might delegate some of it to somebody else. That might be something that comes along this year, like a partner or an employee or something like that can help out, because you've got a lot of wands to hold on to, and maybe you might give one to somebody else. But I feel like, yeah, I don't know if you're already working with somebody else or not, but the business is feeling pretty successful as you move along. So this is the Three of Cups, happy cats, all doing high fives. So there might be, someone else working with you, but that's all good about the business. So I like that. The love, we're not quite at the right time yet. It's almost like you'll be focusing on the business, and then we'll move into that. I do see you finding someone though, and them finding you. It's just, the timing's just not quite, I feel like not quite there. But that don't mean, oh no, it's never going to happen. Right now, your energy's it's focused where it needs to be on this business stuff. Now, at the same time, there's some world events this year that are going to be going on, and we're all going to have that. I like this picture of the world too. For one thing, it shows the four elements. So there is kind of worldly, weathery stuff going on in the next year. And see how the little cat's kind of floating in the middle of it with the big circle outside. This stuff is all going on around me, but I'm still kind of staying centered in the midst of it. We already talked about that, but they keep bringing that through. And I do feel like there may be some like world, not world event, but weather event where you live, not at your house, but in your country. So there's that. And you'll see that happen. So they're just trying to tell us that there is a lot that's going to go on in the world, like kind of world. I'll keep saying this because when I did Channel Dwell Cool, he was saying how you might feel like you're sitting with your mouth agape because there's a lot happening. It's not necessarily happening to you personally, although everything's everybody, but so there's a little bit of and so I think that, but it's also kind of talking a little bit about where you are. Are you in India? I think so. But you personally seems like you're going to be doing good. That little easygoing energy is perfect for starting a new business and stuff. That feels just right on to me.
Yeah. You don't want any roller coasters.
No. Or moving too fast and leaving something out because you moved, it's like kind of slow and steady wins the race kind of a thing.
Well, that was really very nice, Mark. And I want to know a little bit more about what Dwell Cool said, and maybe we can talk about that in a moment. But I just wanted to follow up. And Leanne said that she did get rid of a bad energy out of her house, and she's moving on and looking forward to a new year. And that really resonated with me, Leanne. That there was something big that you were just. And I'm so glad that you were able to trust yourself, and I bet that was not easy for you to go through. And I feel like maybe you're on the other side of that mountain.
Yep.
But yeah.
Yep. And you were supposed to do that. So I think that's why we got that moving out, moving on, moving, because that was a good thing. So they're kind of confirming, yep, I was good to start the new year without that energy,
Yeah. Yeah, blessings to you, Leanne. And there's, be patient with yourself, Leanne. There may be some recovery time, and I'm not suggesting anything, but it's sometimes just the thought of, oh my gosh, how close did I get? Oh my gosh, it could have gotten so much worse. Like sometimes we do that to ourselves and revisit the trauma. But be patient with yourself and allow that stuff to work out, because you may still be holding on to some of that just to get, from one place to the next. But yeah, be kind to yourself for sure. So Peacock says, Jean, I will try to be in that manifesting energy that you told me, but it's so hard to be grateful about something that isn't here yet and imagine it. So what can we I think that's important for everybody to hear. And thank you for that feedback there, Peacock Rainbow. I think that it's be grateful for the things before they come. I'm so grateful for the beautiful romance that is in my future. You can be grateful for that. I mean, you can imagine that, and it's the feeling or the energy of gratitude rather than the energy of, I bet it won't come, or I wonder if it'll ever come. There's a different frequency, and there's an openness or a closed energy. And the gratefulness allows more things towards you to be grateful for. So if you're grateful for the car that you drive in, if you're grateful for the shoes that feel so comfortable on your feet, if you're grateful for the sun that comes in and beats on your face, this is an open gratitude, and it brings in more things for you to be grateful for. And it is it's not an analytical thing. It's really not. And it's I don't know. Do you have anything to say here, Mark?
Part of it is changing your mind. We're not taught from kids to do that kind of thing. In general, hardly any of us are. Or we're not really taught the power of our mind, that we are creators or manifestors. What we think is what we create, blah, 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 blah. And realizing that you are a child of the creator, that's where you come from. You inherited that ability. And as such, everything is available to you, you know. Now you want to be a good steward and want to serve yourself and others. That's always a great thing, right? But you can be grateful that I was born on the earth of the creator. It's my opportunity to realize that as fully as possible. But then you have to kind of, I'll say what I had to do was change my mind, because I grew up thinking the world is hard, you don't have any chance, you're poor, you have to have money in order to succeed. There's no such, yeah, there might be a God, but doesn't really care about you personally or anything like that. And everything was negative, kind of. If it could happen, it will happen. Those kinds of things. And my mind was just constantly kind of running that. And I really noticed it when I tried to start meditating, that I couldn't be quiet for a second, because that was just running all that crap. Like, you can't meditate. Meditating doesn't make any difference. Takes too long. It's too hard. You can't be, just on and on with. And I really had to get firm and say, I literally would scream, "Shut up. Stop it. This is not helping me. We're not doing it. I'm changing it." And eventually it will. The other thing is, if you're really doing like that, I did things like wrote page after page of positive affirmations. I am the soul. I am the light divine. I am the child of the creator. I am love. I am will. I am my soul's purpose. And just write it. I deserve good in life. I am love and good, and just write, or say it and chant it. And I had to do it quite a bit. But I wouldn't recommend that if I didn't think it worked, because eventually my brain goes, oh, wait a minute. We're being programmed by the actual runner of this thing, and maybe we ought to listen. And it does begin to. And then eventually it doesn't just spend all the time repeating old crap it learned from the time you were a kid. It will start giving you more positive input. I know it sounds weird, but kind of treat it like it was a child and you were teaching it, or a dog, and you were teaching it new tricks. It'll listen, but you can't give up. You have to be really persistent. And then that gratefulness, the slightest, even if when I was first trying to meditate, if I could be quiet for 1 minute, oh, hallelujah, I'm so grateful. I'd be really grateful for a minute. And then I'd get 2 minutes, and then I get 3 minutes. And now I can meditate for a real long time. And my mind isn't thwarting me at every second. And occasionally it'll still try that because it's an old trick. But I'll just say, no, we're not playing it. It really helps a lot, you guys. And affirmations, back in the day, way back in the 80s, when I was really trying to reprogram the brain, they used to make cassettes, like positive affirmation cassettes. And I would go to sleep listening to them. And I'd play them a lot in the car and just repeat. It's sort of that fake it till you make it. Eventually the brain goes, oh, okay, I see what we're doing. So you have to kind of reprogram a little bit, I think. Now, maybe everybody doesn't, but boy, I had to.
Yep. You don't have to believe every thought that you have. And sometimes those thoughts are just somebody else's expectations. But Arlene says we all need to get in control of our thoughts. Positive thoughts create positive outcomes. So as long as you keep believing that it's hard and saying that it's hard, you're going to keep getting what you get. But if you believe that that you are grateful for the ease and beauty in your life that's to come, be grateful for it even before it gets here, and that'll really open up and give you more things to be grateful for.
Yeah, and
It
use your
really
imagination. Like, what what do I feel like? Actually look within. What does it feel like to be grateful? And just create that emotion, because the emotions play a big part too. If you can get an emotional sense of what gratitude is, it really helps to bring that in. So even that thing of, well, I don't, I'm still looking to create more, but I am grateful. And when I feel grateful, this is the way that feels. Um, so you want to try to create a emotional response. So you can have that emotional response right now before you get the physical thing that you're looking to create. You can already create how that would feel emotionally when you receive, imagine it. That goes along too. And hear people say, fake it till you make it. And that's why I always try to encourage people, don't leave your imagination out, because it's the next door neighbor to psychic communication, communication. It all comes through that same thing. So use that, imagine what it would be like when you have what you're looking to receive. Just go ahead and pretend like it, just for a little bit. See how happy that makes you, and then move on.
I think that also requires some forgiveness for ourselves and compassion for ourselves. Be kind to yourself. Be patient with yourself. That it's not going to happen overnight, or it could, but it is something that requires time, and change is something that requires forgiveness and ease. So allow yourself this time and this evolution, and and manage your expectations. Nothing's going to change tomorrow. It's, and if that's what you want to be easy, it wouldn't be worth having if we could just change it tomorrow and have it. It's an evolution. It's a part of our soul's growth. And this is what you're feeling, your soul wanting to grow and pushing through and expanding. And the reward and the, just this self-awareness is so beautiful. It's such a beautiful awareness and realization when you get to that place. And it is worth taking your time and working day by day, and allowing yourself that time to develop. um, yeah, very nice. So, Mark, I wanted to ask you, you were talking a little bit about what Dwal Kul was bringing in for the earth energy. And I was wondering if you would be so kind as to share some of that with us, if you.
Yep, if I can remember. Um, yeah, he came through to talk about. Um, let me see what his slant was, because I also channeled Pan the next day about the beginning of the year, so I'm make sure I'm not getting them confused. Well, he did talk about what I already talked about today, about that this is a great time to manifest your heart's desires, especially when you're looking to serve everyone to their highest good. I keep saying that as if you don't know that already, but they want you, don't leave that out. And intention is very important in that. The old ask and you receive. If you intend to figure out how to be a magician, then that's what you will figure out if it's your intention. Ask Source, God, show me how to do this. That's what I want to learn. I want to figure it out. I don't know anything about it. I'm as dumb as they come. Please instruct me and show me how I can figure this out. And that's basically my prayer in the beginning. I am just a lowly, I don't know nothing. Please help me figure it out. If this is true, that I am an offspring of the Creator, and that's my inheritance, show me, please. I want it to be like an actual thing. And then just keep going on it. They'll never give up on you. You might stop for this and that to let go of some baggage or something. But once you've started, once you've made that request, that intention, that's where you're headed. And now Dwalku also talked about, he's the one that said, there's a lot of feeling like you're at the movies a little bit this coming year, and that what you're watching is pretty different. It's the truth. It's coming out, but it's big. It's coming out where you go, oh my goodness, it's a lot, but it's meant to be. It's getting pulled to the surface, whether anybody likes it or not, once and for all. It's like, that's what's happening. And when Dwalku talks with me, it's like he'll say things, and so does Pan. They both said, from our perspective, this change has already happened, and the earth has made the shift. So in that perspective, it's already done. So you're in the process of realizing that, and it's likely to be pretty dramatic. And I keep hearing this when I watch other readers, they kind of echo that, which I've noticed after he talked to me. I've seen a lot of people say, buckle up or get ready to watch, that kind of thing. And that was definitely the thing he was saying. But during that, it's best to be an observer and not an absorber. So I heard somebody else say that, and I really like that. Just to watch. And if you start getting frantic or anxious or moving into fear mode, because the media and stuff kind of comes at everything from fear. So turn it off then, realize, oh, that's more than I needed to pay attention to. And just go back to your center. Who am I? What am I doing? Your journey moves forward regardless. Doesn't mean that you're not affected about what else going on, but you can still keep your focus on your spiritual growth. And spiritual growth also means, earthly growth, because it's one and the same. Yep. And he just kept reminding us, don't get too pulled into it. Watch it, because it's happening because humanity has invoked it as well as the earth. Humanity would like to progress as a group body. Now, there's still parts of that want to resist it, and that's what they dramatize, is like the anti moving forward. And so we're going to see some of that fall.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Go ahead. He was seeing things that might look a little like divine intervention actually during the year, or, he talked to me about, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? Then all of a sudden, don't need to worry about that anymore, because that just ended, or, okay, well, that's done. It's sort of like all of a sudden that just ended. And it could have gone on and on, but I don't know if that means somebody passes away, or I don't know what, but something like that, where it's all, okay, well, that was a that was a waste of time.
That was like a release. There's a release coming. There also, when you were saying that, it's important for us to be aware of what is within our control and what is not within our control. And we, as human, as divine souls here, it's very little that we can control others. And if you ever had a teenage kid, you would know, you just can't control others. You can help them, you can lead the horse to water, but you can't make them drink. And it's really the trust in the divine guidance and the divine orchestration that everything is works out as it should be. And release your expectations of the outcome and just trust that on the journey. It's really very beautiful, and it's important for us to kind of let go of that need to control or to absorb, like Mark was saying. And this will help us to be there as we're needed through the event. or through the difficult times, and still be there for um, carrying on at the other side, unscathed, right?
Right.
That's what we want everybody. Yeah.
Right. It's like when you're on the other side and you look back, oh, guys, remember that? That was a lot. And what we made it through anyway. And now we're on the other side. Yeah.
hmm I feel as though our sensitivity is also heightening. I feel as though for myself, my own sensitivity is very heightened. You would think we would become numb to this, but it's more and more, I feel more and more sensitive to others and to other things and to others' words and to others' energies. And I'm quite surprised about this. You would think that my sensitivity would be, a little more buffered, or but I do feel there's just this blending going on. There's this blending that we're all feeling everybody else's stuff, and and we are becoming more sensitive because our frequency is rising as well. So it's the personal practice that you have is key to maintain that center point, that balanced state, when so that when there's bumps or dips, you'll still be at that center state. So I would encourage everybody to work on their own personal practice in whatever it is, whether it's a walking your dogs, or whether it's closing your eyes when you're in the bath, or whether it's when you're washing your dishes, to just calling your angels, and have them shower you with, love, light, and protection, whatever it is for you. Just work on connecting to that higher divine self that
Yep.
is within all of us.
Yeah. And I'm just assured what do I know really? But when I go within, I'm just assured that this is the divine plan that's happening. And it's like when I talk to the guides, they're kind of excited because we've gone past turning back point. It's like, I feel like energetically, there's no turning back at this point. It's happened. It's happening. It will happen. It's done, already happened. And that's that. And the good news is that was the plan all along. It's taken a long time to get to this point. But it's also, it's partly happening because it's supposed to happen. It's divine plan. But also it's happening up. Humanity is finally getting on board with it, or waking up to the point that it can happen with humanity participating in it. A lot of times a big earth change will happen and the humans kind of get wiped off, or they don't go forward. I've heard all along that in this instance, the plan was for humans to hang on and make it through, even though there's going to be kind of dramatic stuff, but not being wiped off entirely, wanting to rise up with the energy. And I think that's what's happening. So I just always go back within, to assure myself this is the plan, and we're all okay with it. I'll do what I'm able, however you see fit, and thank you for the opportunity, kind of a thing.
Yeah. So,
And
Mark, you also offer private readings, and if anybody hasn't had a private reading with Mark, he does all of his private readings in a channeled state. Is that correct? You channel these,
yeah, I don't use cards and stuff. I just let the teacher come through and do the reading.
and
Whoever.
it is so very healing. You provide healings when it's called for. Is that correct?
Right. I always have said since the very beginning that the best reason to ever do a private session with me is because of the teacher's energy, because it's a lot strong. The reason I think they want to come through me in the first place is to be able to interact with people in a stronger, more earthly way. They can they can blend their energy in my body and then share with you. So energetically, I always think that's the best reason. They always start every reading with an energy thing where they attune with you. But that's always, when I always go away, I go, yeah, but the best thing was you were just sitting there with the teacher and they were energetically working with you the whole time. So I always feel like that's probably the best, regardless of, yeah, they address your questions and we do all that. But I've always felt, yeah, but probably the best thing that teacher's energy is right there with you very strongly, and they're working energetically. That's what I always felt like they did to me when I did a lot of private sessions. I still do from time to time, but before I became what I'm doing now, I always
So
realized there was a point of the session, even though I'd bring questions, there really was for me just to be there in the presence of the teacher. And somehow that was helping me progress along. I just think energetically, they lifted me each time or something a little bit.
yeah. And wouldn't it be wonderful for us to get these private readings now so that we are prepared for what might be coming up in the next month or the next 2 months or something, and have the reassurance and the centering and the information from the guides that Mark channels through? I would really encourage anybody needs a tune-up. I'm telling you guys, Mark has been on my channel for what, 2 years, 3 years? I don't know what years, but he was one of the first ones I reached out to. He has the history, the education, the energy, the wherewithal. It's amazing. The wealth of knowledge, the wealth of information that he puts on his YouTube channel is amazing. And the information and the energy that comes through him is so pure, so amazing, and it's really very, very unique and extremely helpful, and he comes from just such a divine source. I feel it when I talk to him. I feel it when I'm with him. I feel it when I'm watching him. And I just encourage you all to reach out and get a reading with Mark. And you can contact him at spiritwhisper88@gmail.com. And
it's interesting you said the word tune up, because just this week in my private meditation, with guides, they were like trying to encourage me. They're going, hey, what about if we offer like a 15-minute tune-up?
Ooh.
It's so funny that you use those very words today, because they were just talking to me about that. Like, I wonder if we just did 15-minute energy tune-up. So I don't know. I'm thinking about that a little bit. We'll see. I don't know if anybody would want it or not, but it's interesting that all of a sudden you said it out loud, and I've been hearing that this week about maybe we do that in the coming year.
I think that would be lovely.
Yeah.
I think that would be lovely. Well, thank you very much, everybody, for being here and for all of your questions and for all of your patience. And I'm sorry that I got blipped out and came back. And but thank you very much, Mark, for being such a wonderful co-host and holding down. You're used to being on by yourself, but you weren't sure if I was coming back. I'm going to have to get your phone number, I think, and we're going to see, just in case something like that happens. I can text you. I think I usually email you, but. Okay, everybody. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful Saturday. Mark, you're going to be on later today.
Yeah, I'll be on my regular 4:00 Eastern Ask Anything day.
Yeah, so if you didn't get your questions answered here today, please do follow up with Mark at 4:00.
Yeah.
I have a private gig going on coming up after this. And then tomorrow morning, I'll be on with Allie Heart and Soul Connected, connected, right? Connections, as long as we both have internet.
Yeah. Okay,
All
guys.
right. Bye. Thank you, Mark. Bye, everybody.
Love you guys.